Welcome to the final video here in module number 1. If you've gone through all of the videos and done all of the work up until this point, awesome job, pat yourself on the back. In today's video, we're just going to basically review high level once again and then also make a test so that you're 100% certain of what we have done and also give you like a final review of everything essentially. So without further ado, let's just dive into it. All right, so we're inside of my computer, completion and testing. Here is what we're going to talk about. Final overview, testing, and then a summary. Pretty straightforward. Let's dive into it. And as usual, make sure that you subscribe to me on YouTube and also follow me on Instagram. I'm posting a ton of updates there regarding the course, and also share the course. I need your guys' help. You know this by now. So let's start a revolution together and change people's lives together. Also, a slight warning here, right? This is the most important video in the entire course right now, okay? So watch the entire video, don't skip around, don't fast forward. Watch all of the videos in sequential order, take action, implement, and then you continue, all right? And if you haven't already, sign up to High Level, obviously, you know where to find it. Pro tip, watch the video in double speed if you want to. Final overview, so let's dig into it. So here is what I'm going to talk about right now. First of all, I want to say congratulations again on setting up High Level. It's not easy to do. This course is walking you through everything step by step, but if you start out without any guidance, it can be pretty tough. But now you've set it up in pretty short amount of period of time as well. So if you've done everything, good job. It's not easy to navigate for a beginner, but you now know more than enough to kickstart your agency with a blast, all right? And age is a view, right? So make sure that you understand the different tabs and settings, navigate and find what you need, also how you find support, and then also understand the difference between agency view and your account, right? So you have the agency view, and then you can have multiple accounts underneath that. So we have your agency as an account right now, but you can also have your separate client as separate accounts as well. So understand the functionalities such as conversations, calendars, opportunities, sales pipeline automations, custom fields, values, etc. that we're going to go through in today's video as well. And then support. This is your most important resource, right? Use the chat support as much as needed. They are quick to help. Also refer to the High Level support portal at help.highlevel.com if you need that as well. So final overview. Let's go through everything again together. So let's do it step by step. Let's open up a new browser window and you log into your white labeled version of High Level, and obviously we start off here with the agency view, right? So we have the agency view. Here we're going to connect Stripe later, but here we're going to get an overview so that you can see how much you're generating. It's pretty nice actually. And if you go into accounts here you're going to have all of your accounts. And if you want to add a new account for a client, you can simply click on add new account, and then you can choose a specific snapshot, or you can build your own snapshot and import that or save that snapshot. So for example, in our case, when we're helping roofing solo contractors, we build a snapshot, we save that snapshot, save that snapshot as our own snapshot, and then we can reuse it over and over and over again. And obviously here we have the imported snapshot as well that we gave you. But here's how you build up the different accounts. And then if you go to account snapshots, here we have multiple different snapshots. We have reselling. I'm not going to go into all of these once again. You can check them out yourself, like reselling, marketplace, affiliate portal, partners, university, SaaS, educational ideas. And if you go into settings right here, we have the profile, company, team, billing, snapshot, Twilio, Mailgun. We did this in the previous video. And also you can add like custom menu links, not really necessary, but if you want to have like a custom menu link under the accounts, you can add that there. But we've gone through all of this already. It's pretty straightforward, right? And so we're not going to talk more about that right now. All right, so let's continue and go over this separate account. So if you go into the Max agency, in my case, you log into yours. We're just going to review everything here again, right? So we have the Launchpad, and we've talked about this. This is not really like that needed for your agency, right? We don't need the Google My Business for your specific agency unless you have one. Then you can obviously connect it. You can also download the app. So they have their own app that's called Lead Connector. So you can find Lead Connector on the App Store and also on the Google Play downloads store or whatever it's called. So you can download it to your phone, and then you can use that. Later on, you can also white label the app so that you can put your own brand and logo on it, as we have done. But yeah, let's continue here. We also have the dashboard here, right? So you see an overview of how many opportunities you have. These are the amount of leads that you have. You can also see the pipeline value. So as of right now, we have a lead value of $10,000 for each new lead. You can adjust that. We're going to talk about that in today's video again as well. And then here you will see the conversion rate as well. So as you close people, or basically mark your leads as closed in your sales pipeline, as I'm going to show you again today as well, you are going to see the conversion rate here. But the main thing really is just to see kind of how many leads you have. It's a nice overview, and you can get some data here as well. If we go into the conversations tab, here's where you're going to see all of your conversation that we have going with our customers essentially, and we're going to do a test of that later today. Calendars, I'm honestly not checking this calendar that much. I'm always in the calendar.google.com. I always check my calendar here essentially. So we've set up this in a previous video as well. When we set up the calendar, you can see the same thing here in high level, but I always use the Google Calendar. And then if we go into contacts, here's obviously your contact list. You're going to see all of the leads here that you've generated. You can filter all of your leads and search for them. And then we have the opportunities tab. So we have the sales pipeline here, right? A super simple one, just lead, scheduled, no-show, follow-up. And then you can drag them here and mark them as won or closed, or lost rather, or abandoned. Payments where you don't really use. Marketing here is where you can send out an email campaign to your clients if you want to. I don't use this social planner. I haven't used it actually once, but if you want to check into that, you can use it. And then under emails here on the campaigns, this is where you can create like an email campaign. So let's say you have 100 leads, might be a good idea to send out an email campaign once a week or twice a month or something like that. So you can do that from here. Then we obviously have the automations that we have gone through in a separate video as well. So you should know how to navigate those automations. You should also know kind of how to build your own automation if you want to, or you've tested around with it. But this is really like the core automations that you need. You don't really need much more than this to scale your agency to $10,000, $50,000, even $100,000 plus with those 4 super simple automations. But still, you can play around with it, build another one. Also, you can build out these lead nurture campaign, but this should be crystal clear to you by now if you've gone through all of the videos. And if it's still not crystal clear, then you just look into it more, spend some time in it, and it's going to make sense. If we go to sites, here we have a couple of different items, right? We obviously have the funnels. So here on the website, you've gone through the website, you've customized everything as much as you can. You've set up all of the different URLs. So you have a URL for the homepage, the root domain. You've also made sure that the www version of your website redirects to your root domain. And then if we go into the opt-in page here, you've set up the URL for that one as well, the VSL one, the schedule one. You've put in your calendar here. You've also adjusted the confirmation page to, well, whatever you can. If you haven't testimonials right now, maybe you've started to put them in there. If you haven't not selected your niche or your offer or your service yet, just don't worry, we're going to fix all of this copy then in the next module. You've gone through the privacy policy page, changed all of those placeholders. So instead of saying your company, it says the name of your company. Same thing for terms. Then if we go to the forms, so here under forms, the most important thing is that if you go into the calendar strategy session form, I recommended that you keep this as is. You can add more questions if you want to, but for now, I would recommend to keep it as is as you begin. The most important thing here is under options, right? So on submit, it should go to your thank you page. So make sure that you have that there. Same thing for the other form, the free case study form, because we're going to test this today. Here, make sure under options as well that this form redirects to the VSL page or to the video page. And then under chat widget right here, you should have selected your color, uploaded your image and all of that. And that's pretty much it that we need here under sites. Reputation management, you're not going to use that much for your agency, but for your clients, you can use this to help your clients to basically send review requests to their clients so that they can build more reviews on their Google page essentially. And then reporting, I haven't used this a lot at all, but you can integrate like Google and Facebook ads and kind of see the stats here. I normally don't use this. I use the either like a tracking tool, a separate tracking tool for the ads, or I use just the Facebook Business Manager, or just a simple Facebook Business Manager reporting system. We're going to talk more about that later. If you run like a nationwide campaign, it can be off quite a bit, but if you run a local campaign, it's you can still use it essentially, in my opinion. Then if we go under settings, however, I just want to mention this as well. There are some really good ad tracking tools, but for now in the beginning, you don't really need it. Later on, I'm going to give some really good recommendations on ad tracking tools out there specifically for local businesses, for your clients essentially to track their campaigns, but also for nationwide campaigns like for e-commerce business. But now we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's continue here under settings, right? So under business info, you should have set this up as well. Under my staff, you should be added, and potential employees, if you have them, you can add them as well. Pipeline, you don't really need to change this, but if you want to add more columns into the pipeline, you can do that here. Under profile, not much here neither. Actually, what you need to make sure, just to mention here, under my staff, if you click on edit, if you go under user availability, you should select the days that you can take calls. So in my case, I don't want to take calls on Sundays. And here you can see that I have from 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. I can take bookings from 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. But it's in the actual Google Calendar that we decide when we can take bookings, right? Because it's cross-referencing to the Google Calendar that we've added. And then on that note, here at the bottom, user calendar configuration, you should make sure that your calendar is added here. And yeah, check for conflict as well. This is also where you can change your password if you want to do that, so on and so forth, right? So yeah, and then under calendars, if we go there, you should have made sure that you have a group. You've also added your team calendar right here. And in this team calendar, you should be added yourself. You can add yourself as low priority. You've added Google Meet. And also the name of this one, in my case, is 45-minute strategy session. Here's the description, the URL, and then the appointment title. This is the title that's going to show up here in the actual appointment. As you can see, the test that I did previously. And here you can also see that we have the Google Meeting link in there as well. So that's good. You can select the color here of the actual event. So you can see this one is blue, and that's why I selected blue right here. If we go into availability, so these are the things that I use for that: 45-minute slot duration, 1 hour slot interval, 50 minutes duration between appointment, 1 appointment per slot, 4 hours minimum scheduling notice, and then 7 days into the future is when somebody can book. And here you can see we've selected the days and the times as well. And here, you know, we have 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. still here because they're going to cross-reference from our calendar. So that's why we've set it up like this. And then under confirmation, if we go here, it's very important to make sure that we have the actual form selected, the calendar strategy session form. Also, let the calendar auto confirm my appointment, and then allow Google Calendar to send invitation or update emails to attendees. That's normally those two that I only check. Additional notes I keep as is, and then form submissions. So when somebody submits this calendar, essentially we redirect them to the thank you page. So we have this URL both in the form and here in the calendar, just to make sure essentially. And then we can click on complete. Phone number, you've selected your phone number. We did this in the previous video as well. And I didn't finalize it, but you should see your phone number here that we set up in the previous video. Also under reputation management, we don't really need to talk too much about that here right now. Custom fields, you know what that is. These are basically the custom fields that we use in the calendar. The custom values, these are the ones that you can use in your automations. You should know what that is as well. And then if we also here, by the way, under phone number, you should add your phone number. Now, when you bought a phone number via Twilio, you should add that phone number here in this custom value essentially. So that's good that we noticed that one. Make sure that you add it right there. Under domains, we made sure to add both of them, and we have redirected the www version to the root domain via Cloudflare, so make sure that is working. Also, then if we go into media, we don't really need to check that. Like here, you can upload images and so forth. URL redirects, this is if you want to redirect any domain. So for example, right, if I go to maxpearson.com/high level, it's redirecting to high level, right? And that's what I've been using this functionality for essentially. So you just click here, select domain, the root domain, path, high level, for example, URL, and then you just place the target URL here. I normally add both for the root and for the www version. So if somebody goes to the www version, it's still going to work essentially, right? Under integrations, you should have added your Google Calendar right here. We're also going to add Stripe later on in the program. But that's basically it. Email services, tags, labs, audit logs. We don't really need to go into that. But that is basically that. So everything should be set up now. And if we continue with the presentation, what we're going to do now is just to test everything. So we're going to do a simple test. First of all, we're going to test the website. So the website is loading correctly, the root domain and www version, links are working to the funnel, SEO metadata, etc. Right? So if we go to the website, let's check that first. So if we go to parasonads.com, you should check the www version as mentioned as well. It should redirect to the root domain. And here, essentially, you should be able to click those buttons. So if I click this button, it takes me to the opt-in page, essentially. If I click this button, it takes me to the opt-in page. That's good. Let's see here. We don't have any links here, but I have a link right here. Click here to find out. It takes me to the opt-in page. And here, it takes me to the opt-in page as well. That's good. And then you can check that these ones are working. And then finally, we have the free case study here. It's also working, so that's good. Privacy policy, also working, that's good. And then the terms of service, also working, so that's good. So make sure that those links are working. Also make sure that the SEO metadata that we added, that you have the correct title here, and we went through that when we went over the funnel, so I'm not going to show you that again. You should already know how to do that, to edit the SEO metadata. Also, what you can do here is to just to test the chat here, essentially. So if I put in my Max Persson test, and then I do just a fake number here, like so, and then just write testing this, click send, and then you can actually put in your real phone number. But what should happen now in conversation, this conversation should up, and as you can see, it does. And why I recommend you put in your real phone number when you test is because you can just reply, right? So you can reply to it and see if it shows up in your phone and in this chatbot here as well. So that is working. Now we've tested that. I'm actually going to delete this conversation for now, so we don't see it right there. All right, then we can all continue here. So we tested the website, that's good. Funnel, opt-in form is working, redirects to the video page, correct URL and SEO metadata, lead is created, populated into the sales pipeline, and entered into the new lead no schedule follow-up automation. All right, so before we do that, actually, let's just track also that all of the different pages are working, right? So we have the opt-in page right here, that is working. In my case, it's /training. Then I have the video /video for the video page. I have /schedule for the schedule page. Let's see, I misspelled it. Schedule, like so, and it's working as well. I have the calendar here. They are showing the correct times, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I can select 7 days into the future, and I have the correct questions here as well. All of them are required, so that's good. And then finally, I had the thank you page as well, and that is working as well. Okay, so all of the pages are working. And if we're going to test the funnel right now, we are just going to make sure that if we go to the training page, in my case, I'm going to try and opt in here and just make sure that it's working. So I'm going to put in my my name and also max@maxpersson.com here, for example. Get your case study. Now I should be redirected to the video page. That worked, super. So you should test this as well. Now, if we go into the software here again, if I go to opportunities, as you can see now, we're going to have myself here. So we have one lead, and it's also why I see that picture there is because the lead is assigned to me, right? So we have the lead right there. We have the lead value of $10,000. And if we go into the automation here as well, the first automation, we can go in here, new lead, no schedule follow-up. And you can see that we have one actively enrolled. If I see here we have the actual lead. So if I click here, we're going to see that Max Persson, myself, that just opted in, are active in this automation. So what's happened now is, first of all, somebody submitted the form, as I just did. We signed the user to myself, or you should do it to you. And then we move them to the sales pipeline, and we assign the lead value right here. So if you don't want to assign a lead value, you can remove it. Or if you want to change the lead value to something else, you can do that here. And then also what we did is that we sent an email to the actual homeowner, essentially, or not homeowner, but to the lead, essentially. So here we sent an email, and if I go to my inbox right now, so this is the, okay, so I just did a test before, I'm going to delete that. But if I go into the max@maxpersson.com inbox, I should have received an Okay, so I'm just going to delete these ones because I just did a test before the video. But here you can see that I just received an email just 1 minute ago. It says it's from Max, your free case study video. And then you can also, like, it says just my first name right now, because in the placeholder or in the custom field, I only did the first name. You can actually change that to both first name and last name. So the email is coming from Max Persson, or from your name essentially. I can see the email here that sent it, my agency. Here we have the actual email, and if I click here, and as you can see, it redirects to the video page. You can check all of the other links as well. This one should take us to the scheduling page, and this one should take us to the scheduling page as well. But in summary, I got the email, so that's really good. And also what I can mention here is that we're not doing any internal notification for each and every single new lead, meaning every single time you get a new lead, you are not going to be notified. You can add that if you want to. So if you want to be notified every single time you get a new lead, because maybe you want to call them or email them or send them a Loom, then what you can do here as well is that you can add another one here, and then you can do notification, send internal notification, type of notification, either email, text, or a notification in the app. Most likely you're going to do an email notification. And then to user type, you can select specific, particular custom email you're going to select. And then you're just gonna send an email from yourself to yourself, just saying you just get a new lead, and then you can include the lead information with name and email using the custom values right here. I normally don't do this because I don't want to get an email every single time I get a new lead. But in the beginning, when you're starting out and you don't get as many leads, then it could be a good idea, like just to get a notification or a text message or an email in your inbox saying that, hey, you just get a new lead, a gym owner who are interested in your services. And then you can like try and contact them manually as well. Could be a nice touch. But okay, so we've tested that. And if we go back here, so funnel, the opt-in form is working, redirects to the video page. We have the correct URL and SEO metadata. Lead is created, populated into the sales pipeline, and entered into the new lead, no scheduled follow-up automation. We checked all of that. Now what we're going to do is test the calendar. So calendar is showing the correct days and times available. So we're gonna check that. Works to make an online booking. We're gonna check that. Google Team link is created. Automation is working. Contact moved to the scheduled stage in sales pipeline. Redirects to confirmation page. All right, so let's check all of this right now. First of all, if we go into I can close this, but if I click here, book your strategy session, if I click this button, it should take me to the booking page, which it does, so that's good. And then I can see here that I can book a call on Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If I go a month later, I can, so that's good. It shouldn't be any more days like that. And then, all right, so let's say I select the 26th, then you can see that I can do book from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So if I go into my calendar and then I go to next week right here, the 26th, then I should book 9, 10, 11, not 12, which is good, but I can book from 1 to 6, as you can see here. So that is working, that's really good. I'm going to select 9 a.m., click continue, and then I'm going to do a test booking right here, right? So I'm going to put in my first name, my last name, my email, max@maxpersson.com. I'm going to put in my real phone number here, because I want to see if I'm actually getting a text message from the software. All right, once that is done, I'm going to click on schedule meeting, and then it should redirect me to the thank you page. And as you can see, it redirected me to the thank you page. That's good. We're going to fix the video here in the next module. But for now, what I want to check is if I go into my inbox, you can see that I've received a notification to myself. So it says new strategy session and new appointment Monday, September 26th at 2 a.m. Now it's using the wrong time zone, right? Because it's using the US one. But here it basically says that I have an appointment. It's with Max, his email, his phone number, his business name, his website, currently yearly revenue, target yearly revenue, and his business description right here. That's good. If I go into my calendar, now you can see here that the actual meeting has been created. And also you can see that it's between Max Persson and Max Persson. But in your case, it's going to say the client name and then your name, right? And then you can also see the Google Meeting link right here. And if I click on it, it takes us to the Google Meeting. So that is prepared and ready to go. That's perfect. And then if I go into the actual receiver person, right? The person who booked the call, the other email that I have, you can see that I have received a cancel because I removed the previous one that I tested before. But here you can see updated invitation. So they get an invitation from Google where they can accept the actual appointment. And then also they get a verification email where it says, Max, you're booked next steps. And here's the actual email with the meeting link here again. Super clear how it works. And obviously right now, I think it's talking about Zoom. No, it's not. Okay, that's good. But just make sure that you review this text right here as well. But that's basically it. And here you can see that it has the correct time zone, 9 a.m. In the Swedish time zone. So that's good. And then if we go into high level, what we want to check right now is, first of all, if I refresh this page, then this lead should be removed from this automation. All right, so as you can see here right now, the lead has disappeared. But if I go back to my actual workflows or automations, and if we go into the appointment confirmation and follow-up one instead, then we should see the lead in here, and here it is. So they have sent the confirmation email and text, or let's take it from the beginning. So appointment status, somebody books an appointment with us. We're going to remove them from the workflow new lead, and also remove them from workflow no show. We're going to create an opportunity, so we're going to move them to the sales pipeline under scheduled. We're going to check that in a second. The internal notification email, you got that email, or I got that email, we just checked it with the information right here. And also a confirmation email was sent to the person who booked right here. So that's good. And then also confirmation text. So right now, if I go into my phone, I have a text email, or a text rather, right here. So let's see if it can focus in right there. So it basically says appointment reminder, marketing strategy session starts Monday, September 26, 9 a.m. Join the online meeting here, and then it's a link to the Google meeting. And then it's going to send out a new one like that 1 hour before the meeting, a text and an email. So make sure that is working. And if we go back right now, if we go into the opportunities tab or the sales pipeline, we should see that the lead have moved to the scheduled stage. All right, so you can see here the lead is under the scheduled stage. And so, yeah, that's working. Let's go back to the instructions. Let's see if we're missing something. So showing the correct days and times, that worked. Works to do an online booking, that worked. Google Team link is created, yes. Automation is working, yes. Contact moved to the schedule stage in the sales pipeline, yes. Redirects to the confirmation page, yes. So now we've tested that. And now we can continue to the next one. So no-show follow-up. Move a contact into the no-show column in the sales pipeline. Does the lead enter the correct automation? So what we're going to do right now, let's say the person didn't show up for our appointment. Then what we want to do is just to move them into here on the no-show. And when I put the lead into no-show, what should happen now is that the lead should be removed from the appointment confirmation follow-up stage. So if I scroll down here, you can see that it's no longer here, and instead it should be moved into the no-show appointment follow-up. So as you can see here, now the lead has been moved to the no-show stage. So it did this because if we do the trigger here, its pipeline stage changed to the no-show, essentially, right? So here, no-show, in pipeline, sales pipeline, pipeline stage, no-show. When we put a lead in there, this automation is going to kick off. So now if I click here, you can see that this lead is now in this follow-up stage. And then we're going to wait 1 hour, then send a text and basically ask them, right? Hey, we waited for you, but you didn't show up. You click here to book a new call, right? And you should have gone through this automation as well to fix all of the messages, or at least read them and understand it, right? So that is working as well. That is perfect. And then automation. Do you receive the emails for the different stages? Do they include the correct custom values? And we've checked that now already as well. So that's basically it for today's video. The testing. Let me just check here if there's anything else that we're missing. I don't think there is. We've pretty much gone through everything. So if you've done this testing alongside with me and it's working, then again, pat yourself on the shoulder. You're doing a great job. We're done right now almost with this module on high level and how to integrate everything. So you've done a great job. And now let's just finalize this final video before we go into the next week's or next module videos as well. So summary, good job. Like, you're now complete with this module, but your high-level journey has just begun, right? It's okay if it feels a bit rusty or if it feels a bit unusual, if you don't understand everything completely yet. That's completely fine. It should be like that. You will learn more every single day as you use it. The most important thing is that you've set it up correctly right now, that it's working, and just be confident in that you have a proven machine right now to run your agency with. And also, if you signed up to the high level subscription that I highly recommend that you use for the $297, you can resell all of this to your client as well. So when we go through in the sales module on how to present your services, if you've paid for high levels so that you can resell it to your clients and you have it white labeled as your own software in your business, now you're going to stand out from everybody else out there. So this is really like a super powerful tool to use in your agency, and I'm super excited to see what you can do with it. So let's make some money, right? The remainder of this course will teach you how to create your offer, find a media buyer, how to select your niche, how to promote yourself, how to select your service, how to become a master salesperson and 10x your performance. So let's go after it. Let's go get it and make some money, right? And as always, if you enjoy this content so far, if you enjoy this module, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Instagram as well, and share the course. This is the best thing you can do for me. Just let's spread the word. Let's get as many people into this course and into the community as we possibly can. There's more than enough for everybody, right? There's a ton of different services, a ton of different niches, and there's a ton of money to make out there. So don't have the scarcity mindset, have the abundance mindset, and let's help as many people as we can. I want to start a revolution with this, right? And I need your guys' help to do this. I'm doing all of this organically. I'm not paying any ads or none of that. I'm just creating YouTube channels and basically rely upon you guys to share it with everybody that you know. So I want to see as many people as possible in the community and just see them post about changing their lives. You know, that gives me goosebumps, and that gets me going every single morning. I'm so pumped about this. And here's today's quote from Tim Grover. And if you don't know who that is, he's basically an author, but mainly he was is a performance coach, and he was that for Michael Jordan or also Kobe Bryant. He's one of the best when it comes to really just coaching the top performing people on this planet. And he said, you don't become unstoppable by following the crowd. You get there by doing something better than anyone else can do it and proving every day why you are the best at what you can do, right? So I think that's a super powerful quote, and something that is super important as well to keep in mind as you continue now to go through this course, that just try and become 1% better every single day. Do your absolute best, show up, and if you get hit in the face, if everybody's telling you no when you reach out to people, you know, just smile to failure. That's normally what the mantra that I have in my head. You know, if it's going like shit right now, you know, it's fine. Don't just give up. Just continue, keep on walking, and you're gonna get there, I promise you. So let's get to work. Again, you've completed the module number 1. I'm so proud of you if you implemented everything, and you should be proud of yourself as well, because you're well on your way right now to change your life. So I'm super excited what you're going to be able to do with all of this that we've implemented so far. Now let's continue on this fun journey, and now let's make some money for you as well. So I'll see you in the next module.